Welcome back. You're watching Community Weekender Show. This news is about an NGO that is helping our society fight a stigma affecting the South Asian community. We are talking about a non-profit organization, Mukthi, launched in May 2017. Mann Mukthi aims to encourage healthy, open dialogue of mental health issues in the South Asian community in an effort to improve awareness and promote self-care. Let's take a look and let's motivate and encourage ourselves and others to speak up. Mann Mukthi was founded by Abhijit, who after the death of his best friend made it his mission to reduce the stigma against mental health issues in South Asian communities. When he heard the news of his friend's passing, he knew that he had to do something to prevent such a tragedy from happening ever again. Something to ensure that no one felt alone the way that his friend did.
So Mann Mukthi was started last year by Abhi Ravinatullah, who's our CEO, and he basically started the organization because he lost one of his childhood friends to mental health issues. And instead of, obviously he was sad and he had to mourn, but he knew that he had to take steps to prevent this from happening in the future, and unfortunately it's extremely frequent. So that's when he came up with the idea to create the organization like Mann Mukthi that prioritizes destigmatizing mental health, and then he put in work. He recruited people who would be interested and who were passionate about the cause, and a few months later Mann Mukthi was born.
I struggled with depression and anxiety for many years. I was frustrated that I just couldn't be better, and I spent a lot of time feeling like a failure and being too scared to tell anyone about it.
In high school, I lost a close friend to suicide. Since then, I've tried to make an effort to be more aware of mental health issues, not just for myself, but for my family, friends, and community.
I felt a few mild upticks of depression and anxiety disorders post-college, when life got a little messy and unstructured. It left me feeling isolated and unable to grow as a person.
In my life, luckily, I've never had to deal with mental health issues, but I have had a family member deal with the terror of obsessive-compulsive disorder. And quite frankly, I didn't know about it, but I wish I had. I wish I had known, because later on, I learned about the suffering they faced, and I felt terrible.
Apart from losing a best friend to mental health issues, I myself have dealt with anxiety attacks and bulimia on and off since high school.
One of the worst things about dealing with depression and social anxiety in college was how alone and how isolated I felt. Like I didn't really have anyone to talk to. Which is why Mann Mukthi holds such a special place in my heart, because we're here for you, even when you feel like no one else is.
I'm so glad that someone really thought of doing something about it, like Avi did. And so since you guys are not professional, like you're not doctors or you're not psychiatrists or therapists by any chance, so what do you really do that helps our community to reach out to you first? What are the resources available through your website, through each one of you, through these experiences? So just give us a little bit information on that.
Yeah, sure. So Mann Mukthi is an organization, a nonprofit, and a website. So our website features resources for people to read up about mental health issues, kind of gain some background information. We also have podcasts where we have mental health professionals or people who are affected by mental health issues kind of share their story and open up that dialogue. And we recently added a Facebook page called the Mann Mukthi Community where people can post about their problems. And obviously we've made it aware that we're not mental health professionals, so we don't have all the answers, but the first step is always discussion and awareness. And that is our biggest mission at Mann Mukthi.
So I think you are right when you said first step, because what we really need is speak up, right? So first thing that you want anyone who's watching or out there who has something going on in their head, you want them all to feel comfortable and feel there's someone out there who will listen. So what comes to me first is that most of the time you would not want to reveal your identity. So what is it that you have set up that they can be anonymous and still get help?
So our website actually, because our goal is to share stories and get people to speak up. We understand that obviously there's some repercussions that come with it. Like you mentioned, a lot of times for various reasons, people don't want to reveal their identity, and we completely understand that. So on our website, we actually have a way for people to submit anonymous testimonials, and then we post them. So their stories are still shared, but they don't have to compromise their identity.
Okay, so what you're saying is that they can reach out. Suppose person A needs help, but he's hesitant to talk to his friends, his family, or he doesn't think it's big enough to reach to a therapist. What will, and he has also some financial issues and stuff like that. So how does he get started? He contacts you and says that this is what he needs help with. So these people who are helping him, are they keeping their identities anonymous too, or he shares his stories, tell them their problems, and then they kind of listen to them and give the alternative? How does the process start and work, and how do they walk him through and they make sure that he has got help and he's okay?
So like I mentioned before, we're not mental health professionals, but we are people who care. So our goal is to get people, like you mentioned, from point A to point B, where firstly they can open up about their problems if they're ready. Everything is completely confidential, so none of their information will be released. And if they want to post through even our community Facebook page to get help, or if they need resources, oftentimes people will message our page, or they can go through our Facebook account to get their post posted, or they email their testimonial anonymously.
So what kind of resources you have available on the website? So give us a little bit more details on those. Like I noticed you have listed South Asian professionals, and you have the hotline numbers and all of that. So what were the criterias in choosing all those resources that you have assembled on your website?
So firstly, all of the resources that we use to develop content for our website are 100% like reliable. We only go after nationally recognized sources that have accurate information. So that takes care of the accuracy portion. But in terms of other resources, what we do is that we have listings on our website. So you can find, for now it's only the US, but we hope to expand. But basically we have per 50 states South Asian mental health professionals in that area. So if people need help, they can reach them. We have, like you mentioned, the suicide hotline number. We have a plethora of information, background information on mental health awareness and illnesses. And then we also post research articles so people can keep up with the latest advances in mental health.
Okay. So, and I saw you have like a 8-member board, right? And you guys are spread throughout the country. So what is it that you all contribute as board members to the Mann Mukthi community?
So every board member has a specified role. We have a CEO, a COO, and obviously it can be kind of hard to kind of coordinate everything, but everyone has a role, everyone has a purpose. We have weekly meetings, so that's always great in terms of coordination. And yeah, I think the main thing is that obviously it's hard. We are not compensated for this. It's all completely volunteer work. So it can be difficult when we have other priorities or concerns in terms of work and life. But I think the main thing that drives us is that we're all really passionate about mental health, and that we will pursue this cause relentlessly because we believe in it.
In this show, we